What is up, everyone? I'm here doing a new series, top 15 NFL players at their respected positions, and of course I gotta start with the QB. At number 1 I got Peyton Manning. Last year, broke the most touchdowns in a season with 55, most yards in a season with 5,477, and 10 INTs. Peyton Manning's getting long in the tooth. I know he's old, but he doesn't have a great arm either, but he puts a football right where it needs to be. He's won a championship, and to come back and play like he has off that neck surgery is just tremendous. He went to the Super Bowl last year, but got dominated by the Seahawks. But you know, with the talent the Broncos have, with Peyton Manning controlling them, I think he can get back to the Super Bowl and win that second championship before he retires. And at number 2, Terrific Tom Terrific. Didn't have a good stat year with 25 touchdowns, 4,343 yards, and 10 INTs, but still played very consistent, very well. And he didn't have much weapons. Danny Amendola, the Gronk, injured pretty much the whole season. He relied on Julian Edelman, but he still got that team to the playoffs and to the AFC Championship. With his leadership, won 3 championships, been to 5 Super Bowls. Definitely future Hall of Famers long. Same with Peyton Manning, as I didn't say. But Tom's playing terrific. And at number 3, Aaron Rodgers. In 9 games, 17 touchdowns, 2,536 yards, and 6 INTs in 2013. Now, wasn't for that collarbone injury, who knows what stats he would have put up. But coming back, that game versus the Bears and making that one play that everyone knows to Randall Cobb, just his presence as an NFL quarterback and in the Packers and even in the NFL, most people think he's the best. I'm not going to say that far. Future Hall of Famer, yes, has a Super Bowl, but has a big arm, good receivers. Well, he's kind of Jordan Nelson, but definitely I think a future Hall of Famer. At number 4, we got Drew Brees. Always puts up big stats at his 5'11" stature. 39 touchdowns, 5,162 yards, and 12 INTs. Now those are yearly for him. Every year you're seeing him put up that much stats. Has a Super Bowl under his belt. Doesn't have a great arm, but a pretty good arm. Very accurate quarterback. Definitely a future Hall of Famer in my opinion with the stats he puts up. And getting New Orleans their first ever Super Bowl win against Peyton Manning in the Colts. Definitely a future Hall of Famer. With the Saints, as a great wide receiver, tight end, pass catcher at Jimmy Graham. And at number 5, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Most people don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he should be. 2 Super Bowl wins last year through 28 touchdowns, 4,261 yards, and 14 INTs. This man's 6'5", he's big, has a strong arm, makes plays out and into the pocket. Kept that team together after their terrible start, kept them together, played consistent last year. Would have liked to make the playoffs, but Pittsburgh I think hasn't made the playoffs in the past 3 years. I think that'll change this season with Big Ben running the show. Yeah, I think he's a future Hall of Famer. Most people don't, but he's pretty good. And at number 6, Phillip Rivers, 32 touchdowns, 4,478 yards, and 11 INTs. Phillip Rivers is a tall quarterback, pretty good arm, very good downfield accuracy. I know he had a few off years when Norv Turner was head coach, but what a way to bounce back with a season like he had. Brought the Chargers to the playoffs for the first time in a few years, and I still think he has it in him to win a Super Bowl. Definitely, but that defense needs to play better for them to go to the Super Bowl. But as long as Phillip Rivers is in San Diego, I think they have a chance. And at number 7, we got Andrew Luck. I know there's going to be a lot of speculation for him being above Russell Wilson, but I'll explain why. 23 touchdowns, 3,822 yards, and 9 INTs. I think this guy can, the presence, him to come in to replace Peyton Manning at the level he has. I know he's not played good in the playoffs, but in the regular season, with his comeback wins and everything, just this guy's I think he will win a Super Bowl eventually in his career, his young career. Has a good arm, good speed. Definitely the Colts franchise quarterback for a long time. And at number 8, we got Danger Russell Wilson. 26 touchdowns, 3,357 yards, and 9 INTs. Great speed, great play, great out of the pocket. Makes nice, accurate throws. Very smart with the football. I won a Super Bowl, but a lot of that was assisted with Marshawn Lynch and that defense. Doesn't have the best receivers in Doug Baldwin and Jermaine Kearse. He lost Golden Tate, but I think he'll win another Super Bowl in his career. Very good quarterback. And at number 9, we got Cam Newton. Big, I think he's 6'5", 24 touchdowns, 3,379 yards, and 13 INTs. Pretty accurate with the football, has a great arm. He's tall, he's big, fastest, strongest player on the field. Took his team to the playoffs for the first time last year. I think he'll do it again, but he's going to have to do it without Steve Smith. He has Kelvin Benjamin. He has a good defense. I think he'll win a Super Bowl in his career as well. Definitely has the caliber to be an elite quarterback, and I think he will be in the top 5 quarterback in the near future. And at number 10, we got Squidward himself, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, 21 touchdowns, 3,197 yards, and 8 interceptions. Smart with the football, very fast. He wins a lot of games. That's a good thing about Colin Kaepernick. I think he'll win a Super Bowl. He's been close multiple times. He has a problem with staring down his receivers and going through his progressions. If he fixes that, he will be in the top 5 and win a Super Bowl. Definitely. Maybe even an elite quarterback. But he just got to get his progressions together. Pretty accurate with the football. He's got a great arm. And at number 11, a lot of people are going to speculate this, but Tony Romo, very underrated. He is a choke artist, I'll give you that, in the fourth quarter. Isn't really clutch, but has a good arm. He's very accurate down the field. Can get the ball to Dez Bryant, Dwayne Harris, Jason Witten, and all his receivers. But is not successful in the playoffs. When he makes the playoffs, when they don't go 8-8. But definitely, forgot to tell you his stats. 15 games, 31 touchdowns, 3,828 yards, and 10 INTs. Definitely a good, consistent quarterback. I don't think he'll win a Super Bowl. He's getting pretty old, 34. But go down as a good quarterback. At number 12, we got Matthew Stafford. Doesn't win a lot of games, puts up great stats. 29 touchdowns, 4,650 yards, and 19 INTs. If he cuts down on the interceptions, I think the Lions can go to the Super Bowl eventually. He has a great arm. You got Calvin Johnson. He's pretty darn accurate when he wants to be. Definitely has a chance. He's only played 5 years. Still has a chance, I think, to be an elite quarterback. Let's see if Jim Caldwell can get it together with him and the Lions, play more disciplined football, and go to the playoffs this year. And at number 13, we got Matty Ice. Matt Ryan wins a lot of games. Let's see, 26 touchdowns, 4,515 yards, and 17 INTs. He wins games. He's smart and accurate with the football. He's a pretty good pocket quarterback, but when he doesn't have the offensive line, his stats aren't the best. He doesn't play the best. But he's got Roddy White and Julio Jones and a new pass protector. So I think he'll get it done with Atlanta, go to the playoffs, maybe even win a Super Bowl. I'm not sure yet. But definitely has the ability to be an elite quarterback. And at number 14, Joe Flacco, Joe Cool. Has a great arm, big and tall, won a Super Bowl. Just 19 touchdowns, 3,912 yards, and 22 interceptions. Ooh. He's a good quarterback. He can be clutch when he wants to. Just, I need to see more consistency. Out of that one good year he won the Super Bowl, he hasn't really done much to be a top 10 elite quarterback. I know he's won a Super Bowl, but he did have a great running game with Ray Rice and a pretty good defense, like Russell Wilson. I just need to see more consistency, less interceptions from him, and him to play how he should. He has a great skill set. And it's barely squeezing in at number 15. It was hard for number 15, but I got Jake Cutler. He's won games with Chicago, has a terrific arm. Let's see. In 11 games, 19 INTs, 19 touchdowns, 2,621 yards, and 12 interceptions. Throws a lot of interceptions, but then again, has a great arm. As long as he can get the ball to Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and Martellus Bennett, I think he'll eventually, I don't know if he'll win a Super Bowl. He's still getting pretty old, but I think the Bears can make the playoffs. Definitely a good quarterback going forward in his career with a new head coach with like Mark Trestman. Alright, my honorary mentions are who could have made the list. Eli Manning, 2 Super Bowl wins. Andy Dalton, played inconsistent in the playoffs, but still pretty good stat-wise quarterback. And Alex Smith, who I think is very underrated in my opinion. But that's my top 15 NFL quarterbacks heading into the 2014 season. I will do running backs sometime soon in all the positions. But you guys need to remember, these are my opinions. So, like, I want to hear your opinions in the comments. Just don't rash me with your, oh, what? Russell Wilson, no, Andrew Luck stinks. Russell Wilson to be ahead of him. I don't want to get yelled at in the comments, but I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions. But these are just my opinions. And like and subscribe. You can go follow me on Twitter for more of these. Have a great day.